What's happening, everybody? What's happening? Hey, y'all come on in the room, man. We're getting a little bit late start, but we're going to make this thing happen anyway. We're going to make it pop off. So you guys settle in. This is going to be a great one. I got a lot of information to give you in a short time to give it in because we started late, so I'm going to make the best of this by giving y'all this free game. All right. This one here is just so super. I'm excited about this. I was trying to put this up 2 times today. I was trying to put this up 2 times today. Cut that off. And every time, the problem with these iPhones, all right, for some reason it was overheating. And right in the middle of me doing my thing, it overheated and cut the feed. So I said, okay, you know what? Tonight is podcast night, so I'm just going to go ahead and just rip this thing live on the podcast. But when we got in tonight, we're still recovering from Hurricane Milton. So I was kind of anticipating and hoping that everything was going to check out just right. And it did. So now, but it kind of threw everything, excuse me, kind of threw everything out of whack. So I'm still trying to check and make sure that all of my connections are back up and running. Everything is like it's supposed to be. And that's why I'm checking today to see if, oh, excuse me. I'm trying to check and see if all of the feeds are back up like they're supposed to be. All right, so everything is back up. So let's get right off into this game. Now, this is stemming, a lot of people have been asking me, well, they have been telling me, Robert, I don't have a business, I don't have a product, I don't have a service, but I want to have a business, I just don't have one right now. Not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, do not allow that to be a hang-up on stopping you from achieving the life that you want and having the dreams that you want to live. This life is so wonderful. And I'm going to tell you guys tonight just how easy it is, even if you don't have a product or a service. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the product. You are the service. You are the business. So tonight's episode, I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to do a deep dive and show you how you can turn yourself into a business, get all of your rights back. Yes, get all of your rights back. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. At birth, you or I, neither one of us knew. I don't even think our parents knew that when they applied for a birth certificate and a social security card, they gave all of our rights over to the United States government. This is what made you a United States citizen. This is what made you a ward of the United States of America. Henceforth, you got that birth certificate with the pretty little ribbon around it. Keep that in mind. Keep this in mind. Now, birth certificate. The certificate is a bond. Your social security card has that pretty little ribbon around it, and that is another instrument of a bond. So when our parents gave our rights back over to them, that made you become a ward of the United States of America, and therefore the United States has ownership of you, the business, the entity. Those 2 documents, there's 3 documents in your wallet where your name is in all caps. All caps. Your birth certificate, your social security card, and your driver's license. This made you a ward of the United States of America. So now, what does that have to do with me being my own business? Me, ladies and gentlemen, here's the play. you want to LLC your name. You want to LLC your name. Now, I'm going to drop you a secret. Your DUNS number, your EIN number, and your Social Security number all have one thing in common. They're all 9 digits. All of them are 9 digits long. So when you LLC your name and you get that EIN number that's attached to your name, now that makes you a corporate entity. Yeah, it gets deep. That makes you a corporate entity. And at that particular point, you become the business. Now, let me give you some warning labels. Before that, let me give you some warning labels. Once you LLC your name and you become the entity, that cuts off any government assistance ever again. So if you are a person who's worried and scared about losing your Medicaid, your Medicare, your food stamps, your welfare, your whatever else you get from the government, LLC in your name, it gives you all your rights back. So that way the government takes everything that they've ever given you back. Now, the funny part about that is also at birth, each and every last one of us was a millionaire. And our parents, when they signed those documents, they gave our $1 million back to the United States for the United States to do whatever they saw fit. So the United States takes that $1 million and then they start investing it in the world stock market. So technically, and you guys didn't know this, technically, when they give you government assistance, they're giving you that out of the money that they've already taken from you. But you didn't know that. This is why you guys tune in to me, the Info Plug, because I give you the information that they never intended for you to know. So, in doing so, when you gain your name back, now you become the corporate entity. Now, let me tell you what this also does. This sets you up in the prime position for you to be a 1099 contract worker. As a 1099, when I LLC'd my name, I don't turn in applications anymore. I haven't turned in an application in the past 9 years because I am the business. So when I go to a company and they try to tell me, well, here, you got to fill out this application. No, ma'am. I already have my contracts available and ready because I'm a 1099 worker. I provide my own drug screening. I pay my own taxes. I keep your 401k. 401k has been in trouble for the past 20 years. And if you guys didn't know that, you need to research that. 401k is not what y'all think that it is. And then, how are you going to penalize me for my own money if I need my own money? Who do you think is better in control of your money, you or 401k? So I tell employers or I tell companies, y'all keep y'all 401k. Keep your Blue Cross, your Blue Shield. I'm going to drop you a secret. My insurance just went up this month. Now, I don't know what you're paying for your insurance, whether it's family plan or whether it's single. But look at your check stubs and you add up times 4, you add up how much insurance you're paying every paycheck. Now, I'm going to tell you mine. Mine just went up $80 this month. So now I am paying $423 a month for full coverage insurance. That's health, dental, and optical. Now, you add up your Blue Cross Blue Shield because you're paying some of it. The employer is paying the rest of it. So whatever the rest of the remaining balance that is that the employer is paying, just double whatever you're paying, just to make it make sense. My insurance is cheaper than yours. And I just went up $80. So last month I was paying $350. Technically, I went up $83 because it's $423 what I'm going up to now for the same coverage that you're getting: health, dental, and optical. And I just went up. Now, so when I tell employers, or when I not employers, when I tell companies, look, keep your insurance. I provide my own insurance. I pay my own taxes. Some of you might have caught another episode where I told you my taxes last year was $110. That's how much I paid. My taxes is cheaper than somebody working at McDonald's. Now, this is public. I can't lie about any of this. This is all public record. Anybody who knows how to use Google and Siri can find this information out, because I am a corporate entity. So I can't hide that. That's under freedom of information. Now, also, it give me the leveraging power to really negotiate my salary. Notice I said salary and not wage. W-2 employees make a wage. I, and being on contract, make a salary. So if somebody comes in now, look at all of the money that I just saved that particular company. No drug screening. That's $30 if you go to a bio lab. You can get your own drug screening. You can walk in and pay for your own drug screening right out of pocket. But I factor that cost into my salary. So $30 divided by 4 weeks, $7 and some change, right? So I factor that into my salary. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown and tell you why you should become the business, even if you don't have a product or a service to sell to the mass public. You don't need products. You are the product. You provide the service. So when I go into a company, I negotiate right then. So if they're saying, well, we only start our people out at $18 an hour, just for the sake of the conversation. No, that's what you pay W-2 people. That's what you pay them. I'm not a W-2. I'm a 1099. Now, look at all of this money that I just saved you. Insurance, drug screening, 401k, workman's comp. I just saved you $1,000, close to it, if not $1,000, depending on how much and where you live in the country. I just saved you off of one person. I just saved you that. Now, what do we do with this $1,000? Now I can negotiate my salary. So I already know 7 of that. So if they're paying $18 an hour to regular employees, add that 7 from my drug screening, add that over there. So now we're at $25 an hour. Now, break down my insurance, what you are paying every week, divide that by 4, and then we're going to slide that salary right over there too. So we're already over $35 an hour. Just right there. Keep your workman's comp. Most companies, they match whatever you put into work, not workman's comp, 401k. Most companies, they'll match whatever you're putting in the 401k. Like I said, 401k is in trouble. And if anybody's going to gamble my money for me, it's going to be me. And I'm always going to bet on me. I don't need my money spread out around 10 companies and hope that 2 out of 3 miss. And then I got to sit here and give my time, trade my time for dollars for 20, 25, 30 years on a company and hope that I can walk away with $100,000. Are you kidding me? No. I'll take my money and invest it on my own. I'll take my own money and I'll invest it in myself, or I'll invest it in products that I know that I can get an automatic return from or have some residual incomes. I can take that money that somebody puts into their 401k annually, and I guarantee you that's 20% down on a rental property. Huh? Some of y'all didn't know that. Depending on how you invest in 401k, some of you do moderate, some of you do aggressive. That means how hard they hit the stock market with your money. Some people try to slow walk their money. Well, I'm going to be on the job 20 years. So, and when you look at it, unless you have a career, you don't have a retirement plan from a regular job. Just being honest. And you're going to hope that you can make it them 20 years and live the rest of your life off of Social Security and whatever 401k you have in your 401k. But just say the washer and the dryer goes out. We just had Milton and Helene hit Florida. So think about the number of people that pull money out of their 401k just to buy new furniture that got water damage or put a new roof on the house. See, now they penalize you for getting your own money out. Who's getting scammed here? when you really sit back and think about it, who's really getting scammed here? Now, so being a 1099, that puts me in a position to really negotiate my wage. So if they're paying $18 an hour, let's just go ahead for the sake of the conversation. I'll have to show you guys the breakdown at another time. But let's just say we're going to come in at $36, $38 an hour now. Now keep in mind, that is where we start the negotiation, because you got to pay your own insurance and you have to pay your own tax. But when you LLC your name and you are the business, this puts you in a whole different playing field than a regular W-2 employee. See, now my gas or my mileage that I am putting, the wear and tear that I'm putting on my car now becomes a corporate company car, or becomes a company car. So now I can write my gas off. Now I can write my oil changes off. Now I can write my tire rotations off. Now I can write my maintenance on that car off. See, currently as a W-2 employee, every dime that you put into your car right now, you don't get any of that money back at all. Not one penny. Especially because the car is under your name. So if you have a car note, you don't get no boomerang on paying your car note. You hope that you're going to get good credit by paying the car note on time, and you hope that nothing ever happens to where you're going to miss a payment or be late on a payment. See, I don't worry about those things because my car note is now a tax deduction. My insurance is now a tax deduction. The tag that I buy to put on my company car is a tax deduction. See, these are the things that they never wanted you to know about. But this is the power of LLC in your name. Ladies and gentlemen, you ain't got to take my word for it. Somebody go back and do the research. Just Google search the benefits of LLCing your name. Everything you read is going to be the exact same thing that I'm telling you right now. But you never ever thought that you can LLC your name. You didn't even know that was an option. None of us did until somebody told me. And then I was like, Now, my advisor, I had no cause to doubt anything that this man was telling me. He damn near $750 million. So why would I think that he was lying to me on my little $85,000 a year when I was at Cintas? He had no reason to lie to me. I had no reason to question. So boom, I took what he said, went back and researched it, and then it was like a light bulb moment. Boom! I didn't know you can do that. Soon as it bared witness, I went to work. Boom. Got everything out my name. Start selling my car to my business. Got rid of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you are buying a home, you don't get no boomerang on that money. Yes, you can build equity up, but look how long it's going to take you to build equity in a house that you're living in before you can even see a return to borrow against the equity. You're going to be in that house 15 years, at least, and nothing short of 10. And then any money that you put into the house, it doesn't give you any boomerang off of it. Huh? Because you're buying it for you. Now, even if you're renting a house or renting an apartment or whatever the case may be, don't rent it under your personal name. You are a business now. Buy that house under your corporate company. Then it becomes corporate property. Now the company can get all of the benefits and tax breaks off of it. You literally have to, now there are some other steps you have to do, because you literally have to rent your own house from your own business in order to make sure that paperwork is right. This is why a lot of people don't live this life. It's a lot of paperwork. And if you don't keep up with that paperwork, they coming. This is why you just can't learn all of this stuff in a matter of a little 30 or 1 hour podcast, or you can't get all of this information from a 30-second reel. This is why we tell you guys to take the course. There is a lot to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I got 12 years in the game, and I'm still learning a lot of things that I didn't know. I just did a reel to where last week we was talking about some of the things that it sounds so fantastic hearing it as a W-2 employee. It sounds so unrealistic. We don't even believe it. We won't even research it. We don't even care to research it because it just don't sound right. So when the wealthy be telling you all of these things, they're not lying to you. It sounds so fantastic. Man, only rich people can do that, man. Can't get about it. No. Contraire, mon frère. As we say in French. Contrary. Anybody can do it. They just hope that you never do it. Because if everybody in the country started planning and applying these principles and these strategies, you will never have to pay taxes. Your credit will never suffer. Why is that? Because you don't own anything. I don't own anything. You guys have heard me say that before. I don't even own this shirt. I don't own this microphone. I don't own my glasses. I don't own this jewelry. I don't own anything. When you own something under your name, you are responsible for paying the taxes on it. That sounds so fantastic. Now, the other part of that is, if it doesn't coincide with our moral compass, we don't even care about the legal compass. Even though legally we can do it, it just don't sound right morally. Man, that's wrong that you ain't paying taxes. No, that's as American as apple pie for me not to pay taxes. Think about it. How many times are you taxed on your 1 week check? How many times are you taxed after your check? Now, I'm taking you somewhere and showing you the power and the leverage of LLCing your name and you becoming the business. See, when you become the business, all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, becomes tax write-offs. That's how I was able to pay $110. And I'm not scared to say that. I don't care if the IRS is watching me. They know my paperwork is right. I make sure that paperwork is right. If anything I am anal about, I'm anal about their paperwork. And now they even make apps to make it even easier for you. QuickBooks. Now I'm old school. I'm going to stay old school. That's how I started. That's how I'm going to end. I don't care about QuickBooks. Plus, I'm not paying for an app to keep up with my receipts that I can keep up myself. That's just crazy to me. See, people hear these things and it just sounds so fantastic. Now, you got some of them, they just not going to do it anyway. They just not going to do it anyway. I don't care what you tell them. I don't care what kind of game you give them. I don't care how true it is. To them, they just not going to move. Now, for those people, we don't worry about those because in every business, we need consumers. And some people are just going to be consumers and buyers until they die. They aren't worrying about trying to move the needle and put themselves in a better position because they are already indoctrinated with the more stuff that I buy, the better my life is. Because now I'm impressing other broke people so I can look down my nose and say, I got a Mercedes-Benz 300. You know what we call a Mercedes-Benz 300? Even though it's a Mercedes, we call that the working man Benz. That's what we call that. Because that 300 series Mercedes, he don't get nothing off of that. He's just paying a regular car note just like everybody else. But in his mind or her mind, I'm doing better than most. Maybe so, cool. But if they only had to went up 200 more series and got the 500 or the G-Wagon, now that car becomes a tax deduction and write-off. Now you get paid to drive that Benz instead of trying to struggle and get overtime to make that payment every month. See, that's the difference. Wealthy people do not worry and concern themselves with the middle class or the poor. They don't care because they know that those type of people are going to always be consumers. And we need consumers because consumers is what pays for our livelihood. Consumers pays for our bills. That's one of my courses. Other people's money pay for my livelihood. Well, what do you do with that money then, Robert? I invested in other businesses or I create other businesses. See, anytime you invest your money, that's non-taxable. You didn't earn it. It's invested. So, well, how much money do you make? I don't make no money. Not me as an individual. I don't make any money. My business makes the money because the business is the one that gets all of the tax breaks. Oh, we got a question. I'm going to try to answer these. All right, Walter, so you said, so if you LLC your name, you can file and get money back for your car. Yes, sir, you sure can. Let me tell you something. Did you know? Now, you have to sell your car to your business. Get it out of your personal name, Walter. So when that title and that tag comes back, it's going to come back under the business name. So if you're going to LLC your name, it'll be Walter Grady LLC. That's how all of your paperwork is going to come back. And here's the funny part. You're going to have to force yourself to now sign your name in all caps. It's going to take some time because you're taking away. I don't know how old you are, brother, but when I started doing this strategy, I had to debunk 40-something years of indoctrination from the school system because in school, how did they teach you how to sign your name? You capitalize the first letter and the rest of the letters are lowercase. That signified to the government that you are a ward of the government. But now when you LLC your name, now you have the capabilities and the power to block, to capitalize your entire name. That's going to take some you getting used to, but you can do it. So when that title and that tag comes back, it's going to come back under Walter Grady LLC or whatever you decide to name the business, right? Then now just off of, let's just take your, this is simple math. Let's just take your oil changes. Let's not do the mileage on the gas yet because Oil changes and gas, that's two separate write-offs. Okay? Do the mileage. Never do the gas total amount. So when you swipe that company card and it prints that out, don't claim the dollar amount. Claim the mileage, which you would have to go and get you a mileage book, a mileage log. You can pick that up from Office Max or Office Depot. It's just a little book, and you write your mileage that you travel for your business. Which, if you're contracted with a company, from your house to the job, you write those miles down. And from the job back to the house, you write those miles down. Now, when you total those miles up for 52 weeks, that's going to give you one write-off. Now, let's just do the oil changes. Did you know last year they paid 74 cents a mile? 74 cents. Now, if you did the standard oil changes every 3 months or every 3,000 miles, you get 4 oil changes a year. That's 12,000 miles. Simple math. 12,000 miles times 74 cents. That's what you was able to write off. So if your car didn't pay you $8,640 last year, you did yourself a grave disservice by being a W-2 employee and being hung up on the fact that I don't have no product, I don't have no service. You are the business. At least change your financial situation by you becoming the business. Now, some people sit back and they say, man, you can't get back that much. Have you done it? You can't say what will happen if you never done it. My grandmother used to say, nothing beats a failure except a try. So if you never try it, no, you won't get nothing. But if you try it and then you do, come on now, what could you have done with an extra $8,640? You know what that did? That $8,640 as a tax deduction lowered my tax bracket because I'm making less money now. The business is making less money because all of these are deductions which are legal according to the IRS. See, some of us, I'm going to say it like this because I was that way too. I have been ingrained with looking forward to a tax refund or a tax return. You know why the wealthy say that that's a bad thing? It's a bad thing to get a tax return or a tax refund because that means you overpaid. So now think back on how much you got back in a return this past year. Ain't none of my business. Think that to yourself. Divide that money by 12 months. Now ask yourself, could I have used that money every month last year instead of me waiting a year later to get it? Your answer should be simple, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you could have used that money last year. See, this is the power and the leverage of LLC in your name because it changes the game for you. I look forward to every year I know I'm going to pay. Every year, I know I'm going to pay. But applying these strategies, and I told my accountant this, first time I've used my accountant, this new accountant that I have. When I switched over to her, because I like the way her business model was set up. She was also one of the co-authors in my last book, Swimming with the Shark. And I liked the way that she was handling and conducting her business. So what happened was, she did my taxes. I don't do a personal tax because I don't earn an income. Well, I do a personal tax, but it's just formalities because I don't earn any money, which is the way to do it. I personally don't earn an income. My business earns an income. But if you want to play the game and pay yourself a salary, you can. But you can pay yourself the bare minimum. Did you guys know? Well, let me get to this first, then I'm going to come back. So somebody please put in the comments, remind me about Elon Musk. All right. And then I'll tell you about that. But check this out. I was telling my accountant, I said, listen, I know I'm going to pay. I don't pay over $200. So when she first started doing my taxes, it came back $1,630. I said, I said, that's nice. I said, but remember I told you I don't pay over $200? I said, what do you need? And then while I'm on the phone, I'm just emailing investments. See, as an investor in my own businesses, I don't have to claim all of them now. I can claim some in 2025, 2026, 2027. I can do that legally. So anyway, she came all the way back and she said, boy, she said, I don't know how you did it. She said, you got to teach me something because I didn't know it. That's the thing. Most of your tax preparers aren't tax professionals. They're tax preparers. So all they know is data entry. They just know how to take from this paper, your W-4, and put it in the line number on your tax form, your 1040s. That's all they know how to do. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to do that. They do data entry. But when you know somebody that knows how to do business taxes, ooh, the game changes. Why do you think the argument, every political term, is about taxations? Raising taxes, lowering taxes, the wealthy paying their fair share. We don't have to, ladies and gentlemen, because it's legal. Now, that's not to say some people might be hung up on the moral clause. Robert, you know you wrong as two left shoes. You ain't paying no taxes, man. Everybody ought to pay their taxes. No. That's not in the law. The law says that I can claim these deductions, and therefore I do. But I put this same information out for the whole entire world every day. See, I'm no gatekeeper with the game. Anybody can do this. But again, the information that's put out is so fantastic. It sounds so fantastic that this can't be legal. So people just don't even look it up. They don't even research it. Not even knowing the whole entire time that they could have been doing it. Remember when, I remember back when bottled water, my oldest brother had called me from Germany while I was talking to him on the phone. My oldest brother said, invest your money in bottled water. And I'm like, dude, we already got bottled water. It's called distilled water. And he was like, no, bottling water is going to be the next big thing. I wish, it sounded so fantastic, especially in my little young tweeny mind. Man, you got to be kidding me, man. People going to be paying for bottled water? And we already got distilled water? And nothing was wrong with tap water when I was younger. It just sounded fantastically foolish. But then look at us now, y'all. We paying damn near $4 for a bottle of water. Oh, we got Dasani. Oh, we got spring water. We got natural spring water. We got mechanically, what they call it, mechanically filtered water. I don't even know what the hell that means. But look at all of the bottled. You got just as much bottled water as you do sodas in the coolers in the stores. And every time I see it, I get sick because I'm like, I would have been filthy rich right now. See, it sounds so fantastic at the time. So when time passes by and then we bear witness to what we heard years ago it's just like, oh my God. It's going to be some of you who watching this podcast. Y'all going to be like, man, I wish I had a deal what that guy said, man. Family, all I'm telling you to do is start the research first. At least find out for yourself. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of social media influencers on social media. It's a lot of us out there. Now, I'm not going to say that they're all telling stories, but I know for a fact nobody giving y'all this game like I am. I am telling you what to do, how to research it, what to look it up to make you in a better position for your family. Now, when you LLC your name and you are now negotiating with that particular company. Now, later on, if you guys email me, you can see my email at the bottom on the ticker tape. I will email you my template of the contract. Now, I'm going to give it to you in paraphrase. If I contract with a company, I do 45 hours a week, straight time, no overtime. And I'm going to tell you why real quick. When you start collecting overtime money at time and a half, that throws you in a higher tax bracket. Some of y'all didn't know that. Yes, that weekly check looks fat. Yes, it looks big. It looks real good, especially at time and a half. Ooh, man, some of y'all getting $20 and $30 an hour on them extra overtime hours. But it automatically throws you in a higher tax bracket. So all of that money that you think you are getting, now they chopping your taxes on the back end. Yeah. See, it's like they give you a big piece of bait to catch a small fish. So they catch you with that big whopping paycheck. Them $1,100, $1,200, $1,400 a week checks. See, that's the bait. But on the back end, they're not telling you, man, they tying your taxes, they tying your mouth out in taxes. So I negotiate 45 hours straight pay. Now, I'm going to give you the game behind that too, because there's some game behind that. But 45 hours straight pay. I'm already making $35, $36, $37, $38 an hour. Now, I'm staying in that tax bracket, so I don't have to worry about overpaying. But what if that company comes to me and say, man, we need you to work this weekend? All right. I then, in turn, build up what we call comp hours. I don't get paid. Don't put those overtime hours on my check, on my money, because that's going to throw me in a higher tax bracket. So I do comp hours. I know every year it's going to be a holiday that company is going to close. 4th of July is every year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Columbus Day, whatever holiday your job is off. I take those comp hours and slide them over there to that day that I'm going to be off, where the company is going to be closed. Because on salary, whether you open or whether you close, I get paid. That's my contract. I don't care if y'all shut down half a day. I still get paid because I'm on contract. When they come in and ask employees, hey, Robert, you want to go home today? I don't go home. You ask a W-2 employee to go home. I'm on contract. I have to fulfill my contract of 45 hours a week. 45 hours a week. Now, just say if I'm sick, I got to make that time up within that week, or that violates my contract. So I make sure that I stay in good health. God forbid anything happens that I cannot, the X factor that I can't see, but I try to make sure that I stay in health. Well, we just went through Milton last week. Company was shut down because the state was in a devastation, but I got comp hours. So I still get paid. Everybody else was off. I still get paid. I'm on contract. Now, also on that contract, my contract is for 18 months. 6 months. 6 months after starting, then we sit down. Hey, look, I like being here with you guys. Well, we like you being here too, Robert. Well, okay, great. Everything is cool. We will ride the remainder of the 12 months out, 18 months. Then we'll come back, sit down, renegotiate if I want to stay here or if y'all want to keep me here. See, then we talk money at that point. Now, but that's in 18 months. 18 months, I know that my company is going to get paid for my service that I provide. Now, also in that, it's a give and take. I can't quit or it will breach my contract. Now, in my contracts, it says if I breach the contract, I have to pay that company the remaining balance on my contract to them. Yes. I put that in my own contract. It's a safety net for the, remember I said you got to give and take. This is the power of negotiation. So if I violate my contract, I got to pay that company the remaining term on the contract. However, that company can't get rid of me either for no reason, or they got to pay me the remaining term on the contract. Give and take. It keeps both of us honest. See, as a W-2 employee, you can go to work tomorrow. They can say, hey, man, we don't need you no more. Trust me, that was in my first book. I put that in my first book. I worked for a company for 14 years. Went into work one day, and they said it was time to separate. See, I don't know what state you live in, but Alabama, they have a right to work state as a W-2 employee. As a W-2 employee. That's where I got that game from. When they sent me packing, I said, never again would I be at the mercy of a company, and I'm scrambling now to try to feed my family and pay my bills. That will never happen again. 1099 contract. 14 years? Hadn't had a raise in 5 years. And then y'all just up and say, good luck. Don't put, see, this is why being a W-2 employee, being a regular employee, it puts you in that position. It puts you in that position to where you're vulnerable. What if the company got bought out and sold by by somebody else, and then they start doing cutbacks? I don't care. I'm under contract. And if y'all bought the company out, then my contract transfers over to you, and you got to hold it up. Now, in most cases, if they're already doing cutbacks, they didn't already save money, so sometimes they might come with that check. Don't make me no never mind. It don't make me no never mind. I got paid. And then we start all over again. This is the power of LLC in your name. Not only are you able to properly negotiate with companies, not only are you able to write your car off, now you can take your house or your rent, and you can rent, even if you're renting an apartment or renting a house, rent that house or apartment under the company's name. See what I'm saying? Rent that under the company's name, and now all of your rent is a tax deduction and a write-off. Add up how much rent you're paying right now, and then ask yourself, ooh, what if you just got back 25% of a whole year's worth of rent? You got that as a deduction. See, and there's other things, other plays and strategies that you can use. You can write off your parts of your utilities. Some of us never knew that. Some of us never knew that you can write off your utility bills. A lot of you never knew that you can write off your birthday. A lot of you never knew that you can write off your vacation. All of these are legal under the laws of the IRS. Now, there are some things that you got to do to make sure that you stay in the legal area. Don't walk that gray area. Don't play in that. Because you can't scam a system that you didn't create, but you can play within the bound, what they call it, the boundary lines of that game. You can do that, but don't think that you can come up with some new rules and play it. Why do you think that wealthy people don't worry about who becomes in office? They have never changed the tax code in over 100 years, 150, maybe 200 years now. They haven't changed the tax code since it was invented. Let me just say it like that. They can come out and add more taxations and tax this and tax that and tax overseas money and offshore money. They can put all of these taxes on everything, but the tax code has not changed. It never has. It never will. One reason why I say it never will is because, again, some people, it sounds so fantastic that they'll never do it. They'll stay consumers. So it's not enough people that's making a wave in the water for politicians to say, oh, wait a minute now. We got too many middle class and poor people getting rich. As long as we have classations in this country, ladies and gentlemen, as long as we have classes in this country, rich, middle class, poor. Now there's another class called the super wealthy. Super wealthy. Not just your singular billionaires. We're talking about the 100 billionaires. Your Elon Musk and your Jeff Bezos and your Warren Buffetts and your Bill Gates. These are in the 100 billion class. That's super wealthy. See, when you reach that kind of level, one, I'm not going to turn it down, but that's not my aspiration. My aspiration is for me to set up and create legacy money, generational wealth, to where my generation 10 legs down the tree, they're comfortable. See, one thing that a lot of people in this country do, they focus on individual wealth and not family wealth. Family wealth is a whole different ball game. Like your Rockefellers, your Carnegies, your Waltons. See, Sam Walton, that Walton family that owns Walmart and Sam's, see, that's family wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a position that a lot of people, even a lot of your mega rich, they don't have big families like that. Elon Musk don't have any children. Not that I know of. I haven't read any. Jeff Bezos, I think even Steve Jobs only had one child. It was a daughter that he was really estranged with. So I don't know how much money he left her. But a lot of these billionaires, Warren Buffett has children, but he says he's leaving all of his money to different foundations. What? You do all that sacrifice and grinding and sweat and tears, and you're going to leave it to somebody else? I mean, I get it. They say he don't want any silver spoon children. I think his son took a $600,000 car and just wrecked it on his 19th birthday. Just like my daddy, mega rich. But anyway, getting away from the subject. This is why we LLC our name. It gives you the power to now rightfully live the way that you was intended to live. Don't put anything else in your name. Put it under the business name. I know that there are people that, oh man, don't put it in my mama name, put it in my daughter name. That is wrong as two left shoes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you put that in a person's name, now you're making them responsible for paying the taxes on it. Why would you want to put that? Why would you want to buy a house and put it under your child's name, and now your child, 12 years old, is responsible for paying property tax? Man, you wrong. You wrong. I don't care who you are. Put it under the business's name, which the business is now on what we call layering. You want to layer that business 5 times until the trust fund is at the top, and now that house is owned by the trust. Now it can never be adjudicated by anybody, not even a federal judge. I don't care who tries to sue me. They can't. I don't own anything. I don't own anything. What they gonna sue me for? I don't even have a bank account in my name. So I have no money. I work for the company that is employing me. I don't work for the company that I contract with. I work for the business that contracted with the company. See, it's a difference. It's a difference when you play this, when you're on this side of the game. I don't own the car. So if I was in a wreck, boom, that's a company car. That's not my car. It never affects my personal credit. It's not under my name. So imagine what that police officer is when he runs the tag. Well, who is RDM Business Group? That's the company that employs me. But I'm on the insurance as an authorized driver. See the difference? See the difference? So when you LLC your name, it puts you back in control of everything that the government has taken away from you that your parents didn't even know that they was taken away. They didn't even know they were signing you over to the government. They didn't even know that. They didn't know that. Their parents didn't know that. They didn't know it all the way back to the time that, see, if you think back, well, ladies and that's getting off into a history lesson that we don't have time for tonight. But what I'm telling you is start looking up at how to LLC your own name. Now, I have a course that is available for all of those who want to take it. I tell you how to LLC your name, how to set your business up properly, how to layer that 5 layers of protection in the business, how to get 5 trade lines. Trade lines, ladies and gentlemen, are wonderful. If you don't know about trade lines, see, when you have your business, when you LLC your name, you're leveraging trade lines instead of credit. Same thing, but a little bit different. Different terminology. See, when you go buy groceries right now, you're going to Publix, Whole Foods, Target, or you're going to Aldi's, or wherever you find your groceries at. You just spending money and spending taxes because you get taxed every time you go to the grocery store. But as a trade line, and not only that, you have to pay right then. See, as a trade line, I'm set up on a net 30 account. I can go in and get my groceries and then pay later. See, some of y'all didn't know you can do that. When I get gas, I swipe that company card, and then I pay the bill later. I get invoices every month, and then the company pays the invoice. Now the company's credit is steadily going up. Now, if you guys remember this too, your business credit is gauged differently than your personal credit. Your business credit is always going to be better than your personal credit. Your business credit don't even talk to the big 3. It don't even talk to Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian. It don't. They don't even wave at each other. Business credit is gauged differently than personal credit. Now, let me get to this right here, because I know somebody's going to say, I'm already at 1099, and I can't do all of that. Let me tell you the difference between what you have been told a 1099 is and what an actual 1099 is. One, if you filled out an application, you are not a 1099. No, you are a W-2 employee that get paid under the table. That's what you are. If you are getting companies benefits, if you are getting insurance from that company, if you're getting 401 through that company, if you're getting workman's comp through that company, you are not a 1099 contract worker. You are a W-2 employee that's getting paid under the table. If the company is off and you are losing pay when the company is off, you're not getting paid when everybody else is off work too, you are not a 1099 contract worker. You are a W-2 employee that's getting paid under the table. If you are making the same salary as a W-2 employee, you are not a 1099. You are a under the table paid W-2 employee. It's just that simple and plain. If you are not paying your own taxes and paying your own insurance, and some of y'all are paying your own taxes, but you're paying your own taxes off of a W-2 employee's wage, you are not a 1099. You know what happened? That company this is what that company is doing to you with no Vaseline. That's what you are. I know there's a lot of people out there that's in the trucking industry and they have their own trucks and they saying that they 1099s, but they getting paid the same freight as somebody that's at Warner. You are not a 1099. You are an under the table paid W-2 employee, and that's how they're treating you. If you put in an application, you're an employee. It's just that simple and plain. Now, in order to do that, again, I only turn in contracts. And the funniest part is that receptionist or whoever is at that front desk out there, oh, we don't do that. Oh, I tell you what, take this contract in there to the owners, and I'll be waiting for you guys to call. He's going to call so fast. Because one, every company wants to save money. Every company wants to save money. And when he looked at all of that money you just saved him by not doing insurance, workman comp, 401k, drug screening, you just saved him all of that money at one time. Hey, when can you start? I already started. You just didn't know. When you want me to be there? Can you provide insurance? Yes. It's in my contract. I can provide insurance on demand. If they ask me, where do you have current insurance card? They you get an insurance card like everybody else. Boom, there it is, up to date. Okay. They just want to know, make sure that it doesn't fall on them. Now, the other part of that on that contract is you got to fulfill everything that you put into that contract. You can't be you can't be a 1099 contract worker and then you going out here being slack on the job, calling out of work, showing up late for work. Don't show up smelling like a brewery. Don't show up smelling like a weed farm. See, that violates your contract, and now you got to pay that money out of pocket. See, there's a thing called a morality clause. Every contract has them. Every company has them. Even on your as a W-2 employee, You guys got to start reading the fine print in that handbook. There's a morality clause. You can't go out there doing any kind of debauchery and be caught by the public. And then when the job hears about what you did at the club, you got turned up and got butt naked at the club. See, that right there, they can let you go for that, even as a W-2. Every company has a morality clause. This is why you don't post your personal business on social media. This is the new way to do interviews now. You go turn in a job, man, they're going, somebody is in that office looking to see if you got a social media page and you sitting there, got blunt hanging out your mouth and money fanned all out with 4 guns all around you. Oh, bro, you think they're finna hire you? No. Nope. No. They don't care if you can come in there and do the job or not. Look what you do. Never post. That's just something else. If you decide to play this strategy, you need to take down all personal stuff off of your social media page. You are a business, and you got to conduct and represent yourself as a business. That's how you got to think. Playing this strategy at all times. You are a business. I walk, I talk, I live business. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Well, 25/8 for me. Anybody that ever knows me, hey, that's all I do is talk business every day. So when they can, anybody can go fact, like I said, that's why I don't hide anything. Anybody can go back through my whole entire history on social media and they're going to see the same thing. Because I went and got rid of all of that ratchet stuff. It was hurting my brand. Even the Bible says a good name is as good as gold, and I keep my name golden. I don't even have family pictures on my page. And it ain't nobody's business who my family is. Nobody cares about what you cook for supper. That's the most golly. I don't even know why people do that. Some stuff is just funny to me now. Just to see, wow, people post every meal. People post when they're on vacation. People post what restaurant they at. I mean, come on. See, again, this is why wealthy people don't worry about us. We're so fixated on things that's not making us any money or not changing our lives, because your middle class and your poor people all operate on emotion. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel good to know that we're doing better than other broke people. Come on, silly. But if you guys are interested in doing this strategy, I can definitely teach you how to do it. It's very simple. It's very easy. You can email me at the email address right here on this ticker tape that's running across there. But it's robert@bookrdmonline.com. That is the email. I'll show you how to LLC, how to properly LLC, set up your LLC. You get the EIN number. You get your LLC registration number. You get your business website, your business email, your business phone number. All of these are important when you're playing this strategy. You get all of that, as well as you get online coaching bi-week. It's twice a week, because you can't learn all of this stuff, the ins and the outs, the do's and the don'ts, in just a mere 1 hour podcast. There is a lot to this game, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a lot that they didn't teach us. There's a lot that they never intended for us to know. Now, you can be that type of person that just don't want to know no more. I don't care. I'm good. I'm just going to go through life and die safely. Hopefully, I'll go in my sleep, you know. I mean, you can, hey, that's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me. But you can never say somebody else has their foot on your neck. Somebody else don't want me to be somebody, man, people always hating on me. Man, stop being silly, man. You're not that important. Really, you're not. Nobody knows you to hate on you. And most of the times, the people that's hating on you, you know who they are anyway. So why you worried about somebody you already know? A hater, ladies and gentlemen, they can't touch you. That's somebody over there just flapping their gums. But anyway, we're wrapping this thing up. But if you guys want to learn this strategy, man, all you got to do is shoot me the email. I'll show you the play, how to get all this stuff done. To take the course now is $3.99. $3.99 for me to teach you guys this strategy. Yeah, y'all thought it was free? No, ain't nothing like for free. I didn't get it for free. I'm just sorry to say. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real with you. I told you what you can do and the life that you can have for free. But for me to teach you everything that you need to know in order to live the life that you want to live, that's a separate price. That's $3.99, and I'll give you guys the whole entire game. Plus, I'll give you some other games and strategies and tips how you can generate and make other extra money on top of that. Because, again, you want to set up 5 LLCs, and I'm going to give you all 5 of those plays for you to run in order for you to start making money. With that, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I'll see you guys on the other side. And if you listen to me, I'll be there waiting on you. Peace.